back to the Bossman Show with John Beckler here. We're joined by a new head coach with the new now interim. Now he's the full-time head coach now, fighting the Illini. Coach Bill Cubit on the Bossman Show. Coach Cubit, let me have him on the show. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing good. Yeah, it's a little bit, trying to wear a lot of hats. Getting our retro interviews with our kids. We're just sleeping off campus and recruiting and schemes and staff. So it's been a busy week.
Yeah, Coach, I know when I reached out to Kenny, he told me you was on the road recruiting. How do you feel it went for you when you was out there recruiting the new guys you're going to bring in next year for the Illini?
Yeah, well, I think we got a lot of interest out there, and, we're kind of expanding our recruiting base because right now we got to get some kids that really start filling in a little bit. We're really thin on some of the spots there. So we need some guys to come in and play right away, be ready-made guys. So we kind of expanded a little bit. We got some really good business coming up and really excited about where we're going.
Yes, indeed. And, Coach, I just want to ask you, what did it mean to you to become the head coach of the Illini? I know this is your first full-time head coaching gig. You've been in the business for a long time. So what does this mean to you finally have your own program you can put your own stamp on?
Well, unfortunately, I was a head coach at a school for 8 years. And, you kind of take what you did before you really felt comfortable and then parlay that into what we really need here in terms of staff, philosophy. And so it hasn't been much of an adjustment, to be honest with you. And I really didn't have much time anyway. I had about 7 days before the first game. So I thought the kids played with a lot of passion. Unfortunately came up to short in a couple areas. But now, in the off season, we got a chance to put our imprint on the program and take that for the next 6 weeks or 6 months, and we get us ready for the season.
Coach, you had mentioned that you had 7 days before this previous season started for you as the interim head coach, and I racked my brain. I've been a college football fan for a long time. I've covered college football for quite a while now, and I can't come up with another time that a coach has had a week to prepare for the season as the head coach. So if you could expand on what that was like for you and getting thrown into the fire like that, how did you deal with it? Because the team played great coming out of the gates. I mean, you won 4 out of 5, if I'm not mistaken, and the team was ready to play each week this season. So you did a damn good job. So how did you do it?
Well, I think, being a coordinator of it, what really happened, I thought, was the offense guys, they went over to really defense guys and look at, just trust this guy. He does great. He does a good job. But the thing was, I thought, so we played with a lot of enthusiasm and the practice schedules. I really readjusted those. I thought we did a nice job there. Our kids were just playing with a lot of passion. And, we did win 4 of the first 5 and, we had that big win against Nebraska and, we got some injuries and we're thin and, lost some close games and, we just had a little tough, but our kids' passion never wavered all the way through the year. We just got worn down, so that's why we got to get some more players in here and, play with the same passion there. We got a chance to be, go into the Big Ten and make a mark there.
And then that's the other thing I want to get into with you, Coach, is the Big Ten. It seemed like, your team was very competitive within the conference this year. And I'm curious to know how do you see your program changing? I guess, are you going to play a specific style that kind of suits Big Ten play, or are you just going to, do what you do best and take what comes your way as far as Big Ten action comes?
Yeah, when we got here, I thought the lines were probably not what the Big Ten is all about. When you play, when you play in the Big Ten, you better be big. And, we were not. And, so we had the passing attack and, kind of a pro style type look and, get rid of the ball quickly. And we moved the ball pretty well. And then going into the season this year, we lost 2 of our top 3 receivers. They never even played. We lost a running back, for a certain time. We got him back. Then we lost a running back. And, against Ohio State, we were playing with a number 6, at a certain point in the game. So, it's evolved, and what we rather do is get a little bit bigger, use our tight ends. We had our starting tight end. He was out for the year. So, it's a big man's league, and you better be able to run the football. And we really have done that really well. We've thrown the ball real well, but we got to get more of a running game.
Now, Coach, I got to ask you, I'm a Florida guy by heart. Now, if you're recruiting me a Florida guy who loves warm weather, who hates cold weather, how do you get me to Champaign, Illinois, Coach? How would you close me a guy who loves the heat down here in Florida and in Atlanta and get him to come to Illinois and play for you?
Well, the last place I was at Western Michigan, I ended up signing over 30 guys up there from Florida. So, I think it's, the style of play. I think I got a lot of roots down there. I've been recruiting down there since 1983. And so there's a lot of people who trust us there. And, we got some Florida kids and we got some guys that committed to, are from that area. So, I think it's all about relationships. Kids are trusting us. I know a lot of coaches down there. And it's one of the top 24 institutions in the world. It's got the largest alumni base of any school out there in the country. So there's a lot of positives here.
Well, Coach, I've known JR for quite a while now, and I can tell you that there is nothing you could do to sell him on playing in the cold weather. He is not a cold weather guy. This guy calls me and he tells me it's 45 degrees out, Coach, and he's freezing his butt off. And I'm up here in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm telling him it's negative 20 wind chill, and he doesn't know what to think about that. So there's nothing you can do to bring him to Champaign.
Well, it's kind of funny because we talk a lot about if you want to go to the league. I tell them 75% of the NFL teams playing some type of cold weather, so you better get used to it. And if you get drafted by Green Bay, you can't go back and say, no, I'm not going there. I'm going to Jackson.
Right.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Not everybody can pull a John Elway. You don't get to pick where you go, right?
Exactly.
Well, Coach, I just wanted to break off a little bit from the present and go back to the future. Go back to your past and talk a little bit about some of the coaches that you've run across throughout your career who may have made an impression on you, who may have helped shape you and your coaching style as you've gotten to this point now as the head coach of the Illini.
Well, number one is my college coach, Tubby Raymond, who was an icon in college football, and he kind of shaped me early. There's probably a lot of things I do. His enthusiasm for the game, the passion for the game. I thought he did. He was outstanding. I worked with Galen Hall at Florida, who I think is one of the best minds I've ever been around. Larry Smith at Missouri, it was USC in Arizona, just an absolute great human being, who really, I think he helped me out. Coach Faust out there at Akron. And just learning from his experiences at Notre Dame and what he did wrong, what he did right, and then Buddy Stevens over at the Stanford experience. Was outstanding because Bill Walsh used to sit in my meetings and we talked football. And then I learned, to be honest with you, I learned from some guys how not to do things. I was around those guys. So it was always a learning experience. Most of it was really positive, about 90% of it. 10% was positive, knowing that the negative sense that people would don't.
And Coach Cubit, I want to ask you about some rules. Do you feel like the targeting rule needs to be changed? Because losing a Michigan game against Michigan State, they lost their key defensive player on a targeting call. They were on a targeting call. So do you like that rule, Coach? Or is there any other rules you might want to see that maybe they want to change and tweak next year going forward to make the game a little bit better for everybody involved?
I like the targeting rule. Sometimes you wish there was a little more discretion when they replay. If it wasn't, where there was malicious intent. Bodily injury, you would hope that the people in the box, would use some discretion. Because you've seen a couple, but for the most part, I think it's been really good because I think it's made the game safer. And I think, our guys, that's all about the safety of the players.
Coach, I know that your schedule has been absolutely insane over the past few weeks, I'm sure. And, the team almost got into the bowl picture based on your academics and the team's academics. So I want to commend you on that. But is it a positive in a way that you're not necessarily going through that bowl game prep and having to play through that game, because you guys sustained so many injuries throughout the course of the year. Is it a good time for you to kind of slow the guys down, get them healthy, and kind of indoctrinate them into what you want to do going forward?
Yeah, and I always talk about making a positive out of negative. Negative is we weren't playing. The positive part is now we can rest up a little bit. Even last year during the bowl practice, I mean, we had 3 guys get injured in bowl practice. Because you want to go out there and you make it like a spring practice. And, at times, these kids are worn out. We lost, we had a tight end going down with an ACL. We had a couple other kids banked up. And during the bowl practices, we had 7 offensive linemen that we were playing with. And we just wore down. Would I like to be in the bowl? Yes. But if it's not, let's make sure, okay, we take advantage of the rest and get these guys ready to go. And, kids spend a little more time, of course, studying for finals. I think the grades are going to be probably as good as it's ever been. Our APR is going to be 1,000. So, we just take the positive. I don't worry about people being negative.
Well, Coach Cubit, I'll tell you what, me and John have enjoyed the visit with you today, and we'll be watching the Illini this year and putting you on. We look forward to having you on the season leaders, Coach.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you getting on there.
You're welcome, Coach. Thank you. So happy holidays to you, Coach.
You too. Thank you.
All right, folks. That's the Illinois Fighting Illini coach, Bill Cubit on the Bossman Show. More Bossman Show after the break.
Shades